Oh, man, I've got to start this all over. So I said, in the middle of the update that I was recording, this one, I have to redo it. I mentioned Google Home, and then she started saying my address, and I don't want her to dox me. Not that there's anything here I need to be worried about. But, okay, so what's going on? Well, I'm having a pretty good day. My wife came over, and we watched an episode of The Office, which is something we've done, not The Office, but we've had a show that we've tried to watch that gets our mind out of the day-to-day ever since our daughters were born. So I have twin toddlers, 2 girls. They're amazing. And so is my wife, actually. Anyway, she came over, and we're on season 2 of The Office. Man, it's awkward. It's awkward and painful. There's no laugh track, so there's not a ton of comic relief. I hope it gets funnier. I think it's funny here and there, but it's also kind of sad. All right. Anyway, that's a habit that my wife and I kind of started after our daughters were born. The first thing we watched was The Golden Girls. We saw every episode of The Golden Girls. What a great show. Man, I love that show. Maybe my favorite sitcom to date. And so we'd make an appointment to watch this after the kids went to bed, and sometimes we'd watch it, sometimes we wouldn't, but it was good to have an appointment to get together, even if sometimes we didn't want to talk at all and just wanted to veg out and watch the show, or sometimes it was fun to just talk and just reconnect. So she did that. It's nice to have flexibility as an entrepreneur. I mean, especially when you're working hard, but even if you're not, it's nice to take advantage of that. So we spent a little bit of time together in the middle of the day. So today's update is about some open source projects that we're kicking off. So we have kicked off in various stages, a WordPress plugin, an iOS app, an Android app, a Twitter bot, and a Google Home skill thing. So the WordPress plugin is underway. That's going to be open source. Actually, all of these are going to be open source, right? Because we want to provide really great code, example code around how to use our API. So the WordPress plugin is kicked off. For the iOS and Android app, we've got a proposal from a team that we like. But if you know anyone who's really fantastic at creating React native apps that render to iOS and Android, please let us know. We'd love to look at a few different proposals, but we have one that we like. And then the Twitter bot, the Alexa skill, and the Google Home, I don't even know what those are called. Those are still in kind of product planning phases. So if you have any requests for these, please let me know. We've actually gotten some really interesting requests around the WordPress plugin and gotten some great product feedback. But if you've used these kinds of apps before, or if you've used apps that are put out by other platforms that do similar things and you have any feature requests, please let me know. I think that there's a lot of room for innovation, and everyone is basically doing different versions of the same thing. So we have some ideas about how we think we want to do things differently and how things can be done differently. But we really, really, really want to hear from you. And of course, once these are built, everyone benefits because it's going to be open source. They're going to be open source in our GitHub profile, and you'll be able to fork them and make whatever you want. So we're not really worried about competition. We just want a really solid version 1 of all of these things. So heads up that we're doing that. Again, if you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see in a WordPress plugin for displaying pricing and market data, or an iOS or an Android app or an Alexa skill or Google, whatever it's called, a Google Home thing, we are eager to hear from you. Probably the best place to leave comments are on our forums at https:// forums.nomics.com. All right. Take care. Have a good one. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening. If you liked this content, please help me out by leaving a review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts. It provides me with encouragement and it helps other people find the program. Also, if you have a question that you'd like me to answer on the podcast, go to asknomics.com, leave me a question, and I'll do my best to answer it in the next few days. Thanks for listening and see you tomorrow.